This is Prachi Tiwari, who is currently working as a brand strategy consultant. So, Prachi, why don't you give us a brief history of your career and what your main motive was of choosing your career path?
Okay. So, my brief history of the career. So, I've worked for over 2 decades now. I've done a lot of different roles in terms of managing a brand. So, I've been a brand manager, I've been a marketing manager, I've been a marketing head, a chief marketing officer, and so on. I'm now into strategy consulting for brands. I have worked with the likes of Unilever. I was taking care of a brand called Pond's. I've also worked with Times of India and a BBC joint venture, which is called Worldwide Media. I was heading magazines like Femina and so on. I worked in McKinsey for a bit, was Barista as brand manager at some point in time. And then for the last few years had been working with Lando, which is a brand strategy and a design firm. And before that, prior to Landor, I'd also worked a lot with different brands, taking care of their brand strategy tasks, really. Yeah. Or managing, say, a new brand which is launching in the real estate category and so on and so forth. So, why did I choose this? I was actually born into a family of teachers. My dad used to be a professor for Delhi University, and I think I saw him teach a lot. I saw my sisters do tuitions and teach a lot. So I somehow got very clear that I probably didn't want to make teaching my mainstay in terms of a career option. And I definitely wanted to step into the corporate world. And then I realized as I went into the MBA course that I don't quite have an aptitude for finance, and marketing might be more of my cup of tea. So, yeah, that's the reason why I chose it.
All right. So, as a strategy consultant, how do you feel that technology will impact your line of work in the near future?
Okay, so I think technology is finding its way into the way we work in more ways than one. Even when I was heading brands, tech was one way to work better. It was a way to even access how your brand or business is doing. It was a way to network and connect with other people that we were working with. And right now, given where we are in the current scenario with the pandemic being what it is, work from home is the new normal, right? So, tech is playing a huge role in us being able to um, work more efficiently, connect with people that we work with. It's also, I think, at some level, helping a lot of us manage our lives a little better, right? Because you're not sort of wasting time in commute. It's very focused hours of working and so on. And I think it's increasingly going to play a role. It affects sometimes the ability to get your point across, especially when you're making a presentation to a client or even if you're talking to someone at work. But I think we are getting better with being able to be as animated in our conversations with people. So, yeah, it's going to play a very, very big role.
All right. So, what guidance do you have for a student who looks to pursue a career as a strategy consultant in the future?
So I would actually add to strategy consultant also being a marketer, right? Because that's really where I learned a lot of what I know. Consulting is something I've only done in the last 4 5 years, but much of my experience was in the field of marketing. So any student wanting to get into the business of managing brands or marketing brands, I think a couple of things will come in very handy. And I sort of discovered them along the way. I wish I knew them at your age or when I was in college. So, one is having an innate curiosity, right? You've got to have a curiosity of how things work, how brands work, who's doing what, in which category, how are the trends moving. Um, Secondly, have this sort of passion to learn more, right? So, also being able to um, look at things and connect the dots, right? So, if a brand is doing X in a particular category, what are the trends fueling that? Is it coming from a customer standpoint? Is it market which is forcing them to evolve? Or there are challenger brands which have come in a particular category and there's a lot of disruption that's happening because of that. So, curiosity, passion, drive. And I think what will also come in handy is work from home increasingly is giving us a lot of options, and this will be the new normal, right? Till the I don't think we'll ever get back to the previous ways of working. It's giving us the options to reset our priorities in more ways than one, which means you can always do more than one thing, right? So it's important to, especially when you're young, have some sort of a side hustle. It could be working with someone who is actually has a business and has some brands that they're managing, especially I'm just talking with the in the realm of marketing, yeah. Or maybe interning with um, a particular publication, uh, anything that enables you to learn a little more about the category or any particular product or service that interests you. It could even be in the world of AI or anything to do with tech. If there is someone who's interested in fintech, then and youngsters today do have a lot of interest on those lines. If they are, then they should find some way to connect. So, which brings me to the other point, which is networking is very important. And the sooner you start, it's good because it gives you the confidence to reach out on the basis of your credentials and find other people within the network. And LinkedIn is great for that, that you can actually reach out to and learn. Everybody may not respond, but I think reaching out to people, eventually you will have some that come back and sort of help you out and help you move your understanding, right? And the only other thing would be have a lot of patience, because I find youngsters increasingly, especially the guys who are looking to join, it's very easy to get impatient when results are not happening, right? You feel that career growth is something should happen every 6 months, or pay package should increase, or the perks are not right, or you know what, the exposure is not right. I need to work on bigger brands or businesses. All that takes time, right? It's requires a certain amount of patience to be able to stand back and take all the learnings that you get along the way and use that to your advantage to then move forward. So yeah, so curiosity, drive, and passion, skills for networking. Try and learn as much as you can, and do a side hustle, whatever that might be. It could be just about knowledge acquisition. It could be about working with someone on a project, and having a whole lot of patience. Yeah, so that's what it is.
All right. So thank you, Prachi. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, Johan. All the best. Take care.
Bye. See you
Bye.
then.